Right, let's have a go at this question. There were some spectators watching a soccer match. 3/4 of them were men and women. Okay, so this is 3/4 of the spectators were men and women. 5/6 of the spectators were men and children. And we're told that 63 spectators were men. And we're asked what fraction of the spectators were men? How many spectators were there at the soccer match? Okay, so I thought this was quite an interesting question. So I'm just going to start drawing it and we see what happens. So I'm going to draw something that's going to represent all of the spectators. Okay, and we're dealing with this initial sentence there, where we first get some information. Okay, so so this represents all of the spectators. Okay, and what do we know? Well, they've used a denominator of 4 here. They've split this all of the spectators into 4 groups. 3/4 of them were men and women. So if I do this here, this is 3/4 of all of the spectators, and this is men and women. Okay. Now, if 3/4 are men and women, actually, let's go and have a look. What have we got here? We've got men, women, and children. All right, those are the parts that they use. These are the sort of definitions. So if 3/4 are men and women, this must be children. 1/4 must be children. Okay, so we can check that. 3/4 of them were men and women. I've split all of the spectators into 4 parts and 3 parts men and women. I'm happy that I've captured that bit of information there. Okay. 5/6 of them were men and children. Okay. So now, just to make it, you don't need to draw another bar, but I think just to make it easier, I will. So I'm going to draw another bar. Okay. And it's the same size because it represents the same number of people, because this, again, this represents all of the spectators. But this time I've split it into 6 parts. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. What are we told? 5/6 of them were men and children. Okay. Well, I've got men and women here and children here. So the number of children is remaining the same. So what I'm going to do is work this way to draw in my 5/6. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is, okay, I should have used that other color, shouldn't I? Let's do that again. This 5/6 is men and children. Now, I hope if you think, so that's men and women, and this is children, and this part is men and children. Well, we know how many children there are, or that this part of the model is children, and it doesn't change here because this is the same size model representing the same number of people. So hopefully you can see that if I sort of divide things up, okay, so that bit there must be children. And so that bit there must be men. Okay, can you see that? Because we've got the children there, here are the children, and if this is men and children, then this bit here is just men. Well, how can we start to put numbers in this? Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, we want to try and get equal parts, don't we? And we can see that if we've split this one here in half, we need to do the same to all of these. So originally this was split into 6 parts. Now it's 12 parts. And it would really help, obviously, if we split this into 12 parts as well. if we just split each of these into 3, can you see how they correspond? So I've split all of this into 12 parts as well. Okay. Now remember, these are I'm just drawing the same people in 2 different models. Okay. Right. What do we know? We do have some numbers. We were told that 63 of the spectators were men. Well, we've isolated the men here. What amount of the bar refers to men? And men equals 63. So how many, that means this bar here, you can draw it in there, that's 63. So we now have a value for some equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, if we do 63, if we divide that by 7, we are going to get 9. So all of these parts has a value of 9. Okay. I don't need to put it in up here. We can see it all perfectly well down here. So what am I asked? What fraction of the spectators were men? Well, okay. How many parts have I got down here? This is where I've got the number of the men isolated. So there's 12 parts. So we know that the denominator is going to be 12. And we counted these already. That was 7. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7/12 are men. Okay, 7/12. And it says how many spectators were there at the soccer match. Well, we know that there's 12 parts altogether. Each of them represents 9 people. So it's just simply 9 times 12, which of course is 108. And that's how many people I think were at the soccer match.